Good morning. It is Monday, December 8th. I'm Vincent Fanvan, and this is Always Booked Live. This is your daily briefing to keep your calendar and your pipeline always booked. On today's show, we're going to be diving into three different stories that are reshaping how service businesses operate right now. Small businesses just shed 120,000 jobs in November. We're going to break down what that signal means for hiring as well as your business cash flow. Then, why over a third of Main Street businesses are racing to adopt AI and automation, and how it's changing the economics of running a local shop, an online coaching business, or a professional firm. And finally, Facebook just rolled out its biggest algorithm change in months: 50% of more same day reels in your feed, AI powered search, and what that means for your organic reach. Plus, four quick hits on consumer confidence, buy now, pay later trends, tariff refunds, and record holiday spending. But first, small businesses just cut 120,000 jobs. Here's why you're the canary in the coal mine. Let's start with a number that should definitely get your attention: 120,000. That's how many jobs small businesses, firms with fewer than 50 employees, eliminated in November alone. That's according to the latest ADP employment report. While medium and large companies added positions, Main Street actually took a hit. Private sector employment fell by 32,000 jobs overall in November, but a story that's behind the number reveals a more troubling divide. And according to Fox Business, small businesses shed 120,000 positions, while medium sized firms added 51,000 and large companies added 39,000. This marks the smallest small business job loss since March of 2023 and the third monthly decline in 4 months. Neela Richardson, ADP's chief economist, didn't mince words. It's those mom and pop, those Main Street companies and firms and small businesses and small establishments that really weather what is an uncertain macro environment and a cautious consumer. She said she views this as the canary in the coal mine. And the pullback wasn't just limited to one sector. Professional and business services lost 26,000 jobs, information services cut 20,000 jobs, and manufacturing shed 18,000 positions. That's according to the New York Times. And meanwhile, wage growth slowed to 4.4% year over year. Workers staying in their roles down 4.5% in October. Small businesses are facing the perfect storm. It's cumulative price increases of roughly 25% over 5 years, elevated costs from frequently changing tariffs, and consumers who are becoming increasingly cautious about discretionary spending. Here's a quote for you: "There are numerous concerns facing smallest firms, issues related to supply and elevated price levels." That's what Richardson said. And even if inflation appears moderate, she explained, the cumulative burden has forced small businesses to alter their hiring strategies. And rather than outright layoffs, many are staying lean, postponing new hiring and not replacing departing staff in order to navigate this uncertainty. And Sean Higgins, who's a research fellow at Competitive Enterprise Institute, told Fox Business, quote, "It just seems to be a classic case of the sort of canary in the coal mine scenario. There's a lot of economic uncertainty right now due to tariffs and other things, and small businesses are having a hard time weathering that, whether they're waiting for things to go through." So here's the takeaway for service business owners. If you're running a med spa, if you're running a salon, a coaching practice, or an accounting firm, this data is a mirror. It's not a prediction. And the question isn't whether the labor market is cooling, it's how you're responding. So for local service businesses, this might mean holding off on that second massage therapist hire until booking rates stabilize above 70%. For online service providers, that's coaches, creators, course businesses, consider whether a VA or a contractor gives you more flexibility than a W-2 employee right now. And if you're a B2B service, especially professional services, now is the time to double down on retentions, because your existing team is cheaper and faster to keep them than replacing them in 6 months. And from a technology and system standpoint, if you're stretched thin, look at what a CRM connected to a mobile app or a client portal can automate for you. That's reminders, it's rebookings, it's prompts, it's intake forms, post-service follow-ups. The businesses that are surviving this moment aren't necessarily the ones that are hiring more. They're working smarter. They're using tools that let one person do the work of 2 to 3 to 4 people. And small businesses are staying lean, and that means that they're making every single team member count, every single system count. And so still to come, the tech upgrade that's helping Main Street compete with less staff and lower overhead. Over one third of small businesses now use AI, and it's really not becoming optional anymore. So let's turn to businesses that aren't just surviving this labor crunch, but thriving through it. According to Fortune, more than one third of small businesses are now using AI to handle demand with limited headcount. And these results are measurable. It's higher productivity, it's lower cost, it's the ability to compete without adding payroll. And so Main Street is undergoing a make or break technology transformation. And it's happening faster than most people realize. Over one third of small businesses now use AI tools to manage operations, to automate workflows, to serve customers, all while keeping their headcount flat or even shrinking. This is according to Fortune. And the shift isn't about chasing the latest trend, it's about survival. With fewer workers available and wage pressures mounting, businesses are turning to technology to do a lot more with less. These tools have become radically more accessible. Platforms like HubSpot AI, Salesforce Einstein, Zoho CRM now offering AI powered lead scoring, automated follow ups, and predictive analytics. These are capabilities that once required enterprise budgets and a dedicated IT team. And according to case studies compiled across industries, businesses report time savings of 8 to 10 hours per week on administrative tasks, 25% faster sales cycles, and a conversion rate improvement of up to 260%. One digital marketing agency saved 85 hours per month of content creation by using AI for drafting, research, and formatting while maintaining quality through human oversight. For small manufacturers, AI driven predictive maintenance systems and analyze data, equipment, and forecast breakdowns happen before. And so they're preventing costly downtime. One small business manufacturer avoided over $5,000 in unscheduled repairs in a single quarter. And for service businesses, from salons to consulting firms, AI tools embedded in your CRM can automate appointment reminders. They can segment your client list. They can trigger personalized re engagement campaigns without lifting a finger. The democratization of AI means businesses no longer need a massive budget or technical expertise to compete. And this competitive edge now belongs to those who implement strategically, more rigorously, and scale intelligently. And as one business owner put it, AI isn't replacing the human touch. It's freeing up those people, those humans, to actually focus on what humans do best: relationships, strategy, creativity. Quote, by using technology to cut overhead and reduce turnover, owners are freeing up cash to raise wages as well as compete in talent. Fortune noted this, highlighting how businesses are investing in automation today and positioning themselves with talent for the talent wars of tomorrow. So, what's the takeaway for small business owners? If you're a brick and mortar business, think like a fitness studio, an IV therapy clinics, med spa, restaurant. AI can take over the repetitive work that's eating up your time: lead qualification, booking confirmations, no show reductions. You want to look at CRM automations that connect to your existing tools and trigger actions based on client behavior. For online service businesses, that's membership sites, course creators, remote coaches, AI can personalize content delivery, score engagement, as well as upsell and automate upsell and sequences at scale. So if you're a B2B service provider or a professional firm, you want to consider how AI agents can handle intake, draft proposals, summarize meetings, or flag at-risk accounts before they churn. And the firms that are pulling ahead right now aren't waiting for the perfect solution. They're piloting AI tools in a small, contained workflow, measuring results and scaling what works. And here's the bigger point: is something like a custom branded mobile app or a client portal that's powered by AI and connected to your CRM doesn't just make you look more professional, it actually makes you operationally unstoppable. It's the difference between chasing clients and having them come back on their own automatically. Here to tell us what this means and what small businesses, owners, and AI are doing, Spencer Donaldson, CEO, founder of Captive Demand and First Future. Spencer, thanks so much for joining us. How was your weekend?
It was great. Thanks, Vincent. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to have you back on. Now, you work with small businesses at Captive Demand, and you're deeply involved in AI-driven marketing and automation through First Future. What's the biggest misconception that service business owners have about adopting AI, and what should they actually be focused on instead?
Yeah, I think most people think AI is going to replace their people, but in all reality, that's not the case. What they're going to do is it's going to help them. The way you should look at AI is like cruise control. It's not a self-driving vehicle. So it's a tool for your people. It's not to the point where it's going to actually take over your business. It's something that should help you with, your basic day-to-day things that are monotonous, follow-up, scheduling, intake, data entry, that kind of thing. But yeah, start the biggest thing you want to look at when you're starting this process is, what feels like Groundhog Day to you? Like what is the thing that you're doing every day that you're like, oh my God, I keep doing this. So it's, you want to focus on buying your time back. It's not some futuristic transformation that's going to take over your business. It's not Skynet.
That's what's been incredible is everybody is talking about AI replacing humans and like this is this far off thing in the distance, but like it's here, it's right now. Like when you take a look at that research, and according to the research, 1/3 of small businesses now use AI to handle demand with limited headcount. That's wild that it's gone from literally zero to 1/3. And if you're one of the small business owners that's not keeping an eye on this, like you might not be hearing about how many of your competitors are moving to using AI to become more efficient in this really difficult labor market. But as well, they're able to provide things like customer support 24/7. So while your team might not be available immediately on the phone, your competitor might actually be using an AI receptionist to give pricing, to make an appointment so that Monday morning, like that customer already has the answer that they were looking for over the weekend. In your experience, which service businesses owners are actually winning with AI right now? And what's the one thing that they did differently than the ones who like tried it and they were just like, you know what, this is not good enough?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it with anyone. Like it's right now, it's still the first adopters. So it's more the tech savvy businesses. We're seeing it with med spas and things like that. But the biggest thing that we're seeing, anyone who's successful starts small and finds the niche cases to fix within their business. They're not trying to fit AI into this platform that's going to solve everything for them. So it's the smallest, most tedious task that you should be solving for first. And then from there, you can go and try and be a little bit more iterative. So you start at the beginning and go to the end versus taking the whole picture and then trying to solve for that whole picture.
Yeah, totally. One key finding is that AI saves 8 to 10 hours per week of admin tasks for small businesses. In some small businesses, that's even like per person in a customer service type of role. I mean, wild, right? In a 40-hour work week, the AI is able to save 8 to 10 hours potentially per person. I mean, that's a productive, fundamentally more productive business. But for a busy med spa owner or a salon owner or an online coach that's listening right now, like what's the easiest first workflow that they should automate? And what would go wrong if they tried to automate like the hardest thing first?
Well, I think the biggest thing is like, I mean, you mentioned it. It's with anything to do with your CRM, so client management, anything that you can do to improve the client experience. So intake is the biggest thing, and then probably the easiest thing. How are your team members handling phone calls, getting things documented and into all your systems, and then how are you integrating those systems? So the biggest thing is, focus on that. And if you don't do that, a lot of these companies have been operating for years without using these tools, but they are going to fall behind because the experience is going to get exponentially better for anyone else who's using these tools. So most people are not replacing people. They're using it to supplement and make things better within their practices. If you do that, you're going to be great. If you don't, you're going to be behind and your customers are going to start to go somewhere that they can get a better experience.
Yeah, you're in this space and you live in and breathe it like day in and day out with the AI agents and the automation. How are AI agents different from the chatbots? So I think like when ChatGPT came out, like, we've all, used ChatGPT or we've used Gemini when we do a Google search. I mean, people that are even doing Google searches and saying like, I don't use AI. The truth of the matter is now like 60% of Google searches do not result in a user clicking out to a third-party website. That's a wild change in the Gemini placement. But like, how are those chatbots and marketing automation tools that most service businesses are using? Like, how are they different? And when it comes to like AI, like when should a small business actually start looking at an AI agent versus like the reactive chatbots that we all use today?
I mean, I think anybody should be looking at agents now. And I think the differentiator between an agent is an agent actually does work. So it does, and a chatbot just talks. So
Mhm.
if you have pre-canned responses, you can talk with a chatbot, but it's not going to go out and take action on your behalf. So it's just going to literally utilize any information that you're giving it and provide canned responses to anyone that's on your website if you need it to do things for you. like categorize information, send information into your HubSpot, send follow-up emails all together, tying your systems together. An agent can do that, whereas a chatbot can't.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, like the difference between, the agents, this show always booked. Like I have an agent that's actually a research agent that goes out and reads the entire Wall Street Journal, the entire New York Times, everything that's coming out from Bloomberg every single day, and then helping me understand like which headlines and which trends are actually making an impact on small business. And, like I run a company, Spencer, like you run a company, like, there's no way that we could do something like this show if we actually read the Wall Street Journal cover to cover. I mean, I look forward to the day in the future where you and I are retired and we actually can read it. Maybe I'm going to bring back like that paper Wall Street Journal, like for, that slow morning in the future, or maybe that's coming sooner than we know it when AI is going to be able to do both of our jobs. But like the reality is like that's not today. Now, like, can that AI agent write the entire script for this show? No. Can that AI agent like seamlessly put out the Substack newsletter that we put out every single day? No. But it's taking something that used to take like 5 hours of work to be able to do the research and be able to crunch all of the analysis to be able to put together the content for a show like this. And that just shows up literally like in my email inbox every single night at 7 p.m., which is the exact time that I finish bedtime for my kids. Let's talk a little bit about like cash flow reality. Small businesses are cutting 120,000 jobs, holy cow, and feeling pressure on margins. And that's if those service businesses can even find people to be able to hire. If you're a service business owner and you're worried about being able to afford AI tools on top of everything else, like what's honestly the business case for investing in automation right now? And is it worth the risk? And how should they be trying to measure this to be able to prove the ROI on those AI credits?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely worth the risk. I think the biggest thing is they can take a look at their time and see what it's doing. Like for instance, we have a proposal agent that helps us generate proposals for our clients. Generally I'm spending several hours on those proposals, and that's cutting my time down. We also have a thing that plans out our website frameworks, and that clearly it's cut our delivery framework down to less than 10 hours for a website. So you can see from a time perspective, as long as you're tracking how long it takes, you can see the value that you're bringing. And I mean, you just calculate what your hourly time spent is or your team's hourly time spent is. And when you do that, it's very easy to see that AI is going to help you win no matter what. It's cutting down hours. And ultimately, it's not that expensive to use the base models. And there's a lot more free models now available that you can utilize if you don't want to spend anything.
I mean, that's a great point on like taking proposals. Writing proposals is something that I absolutely hate. Like, I love meeting new clients. I love talking to other companies and talking about like the impact that implementing AI or implementing a mobile app in their business can take. But like, I absolutely dread sitting down, spending 30 minutes to be able to type up a proposal. I've oftentimes find myself procrastinating on it. The competitive landscape used to be like if you got a proposal out by the next morning after a sales call, like that was pretty fast. But the reality is companies that are leveraging AI and using proposal tools like the one that First Future is building is making you way more competitive if you could put that proposal out within 30 minutes of a call when you have somebody's attention before they focus on something else, versus waiting a day or two where you're going to be end up chasing somebody to be able to follow up on that proposal.
Oh, for sure. And like with our tool, it helps you ask the right questions on the call and then takes your call recordings to generate that proposal. So by the time you're done with the proposal, you could actually walk them through the proposal on a call and get them to sign right then and there. And we all know speed's the name of the game. The quicker you are, the more likely you are to get the deal done.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us. This is Spencer Donaldson, founder and CEO of Captive Demand and First Future. We'll see you tomorrow, buddy. So today's show is brought to you by Viton One. That's the AI native platform and CRM and tools that you already use put into a custom mobile app and client portal. If you and your clients are bouncing back and forth between booking links and emails and DMs, Fight and One wraps it all into one place on their home screen, on their phone, so that they can book, so they can rebook, so they can stay engaged without you chasing them. Whether you run a local service business or whether it's an online coaching practice or a B2B firm, Fight and One gives you the direct channel and the automation that you need to stay always booked. Head over to Viton.com and request your free Viton strategy session. All right, let's wrap with a story that's changing how your clients discover you online. Facebook just changed the game. 50% more fresh reels in your feed starting today. And finally, if you've been posting reels on Facebook and you're wondering why your reach feels inconsistent, this one's for you as well. Facebook just rolled out a major algorithm update that prioritizes newer content, showing users 50% more reels uploaded the same day that they're scrolling. And it introduces AI-powered search and new engagement signals. If you're not adapting, you're already behind. So Meta announced sweeping updates to Facebook's algorithm in October, and now it's fully rolled out across the platform, according to TechCrunch. The changes are designed to surface fresher, more relevant content and give users greater control over what they see. And at the center of the update, Facebook now shows users 50% more reels than they were posting on same day that they're browsing. And this is a dramatic shift from the platform's previous emphasis on older viral content. The update also introduces AI-powered search suggestions in the Reels tab. That's similar to the gray suggestions prompt that you see already today on TikTok. These recommendations help users discover content related to topics that they've engaged with before, creating new discovery pathways for creators and businesses. And additionally, Facebook is rolling out a friend bubble. That's profile indicators showing which reels, which posts that your friends have liked, making engagement more visible and more social. For creators and businesses, the implications are pretty clear. Recency and consistency now matter more than ever. And Facebook's recommendation engine is also going to adapt faster to use user feedback. If someone taps not interested on a reel or flags a comment, the algorithm's going to immediately adjust to be able to show less of that type of content. And the platform is also prioritizing authentic, original content over recycled or AI-generated videos that lack proper disclosure. According to Jagad Chawla, Facebook's vice president of product, the changes reflect what users have been asking for. Quote, users have expressed a desire to see more current videos in their feed. And quote, internal analysis revealed that prioritizing recent content encourages users to return to the app more frequently and win for both reach and engagement. The algorithm updates aims to prioritize newer content. According to the company, it will present users with 50% more reels that were uploaded same day that they're scrolling. TechCrunch reported that this is signaling a fundamental shift in how Facebook ranks and distributes video content. So what does this mean? What does this mean for local services businesses, for salons, for fitness studios, for med spas? This update is a green light to post more frequently and more consistently. You want to stop batch creating 30 days of content and sitting on it. If you film a transformation, a behind the scenes moment, or a client win today, you want to post it today. Same day content now gets a 50% boost in distribution. This means that your local audience is more likely to see it while it's still timely and while it's still relevant. For online service businesses, for coaches, for content creators, for course creators, for consultants, Reels are now one of the best ways to stay top of mind with cold and warm audiences, using AI-powered search suggestions to your advantage, including keyword-rich captions and phrases that align with your ideal clients that they're already searching for, and lean into that friend bubble feature by encouraging your existing clients, by encouraging your followers to engage. Make sure you engage. You like this. If you're watching this live right now, you want to share it. You want to make sure that your network is going to amplify your reach when you're posting as well. B2B firms and professional services often overlook Reels, but this update levels the playing field. Short form video is no longer just for B2C. A 30-second reel explaining a quick regulatory change, a quick tax tip, a case study snippet can reach decision makers who would never open up a white paper. And with AI-powered suggestions, your content can surface in front of people who don't follow you yet, but are searching for the exact problem that you solve. So here's the bottom line. If you've been inconsistent with Reels, this is your wake-up call. Fresh content wins, and the algorithm is finally rewarding businesses that show up consistently. You want to pair that with a direct channel like a branded mobile app or a client portal so that you're not just hoping that the algorithm works in your favor, that you're actually building engagement, but then moving them to a channel that's owned engagement so that you can send push notifications that don't rely on that social media algorithm anymore. Consumer sentiment just ticked up as well. Inflation expectations are still double the Fed's target. Consumer sentiment has improved slightly to 53.3% in early December, up 51% from November. That's according to the University of Michigan's monthly survey reported by the Wall Street Journal. While expectations for personal finance rose 13% across age groups and income levels, consumers are still anticipating a 4.1% inflation over the next year, well above the Federal Reserve's 2% target. So the translation, what does this mean for services businesses? Clients feel marginally better, but they're still price sensitive and they're still looking for value. If you're raising prices, you want to bundle services or add perceived value instead of just the straight up markups. Shoppers, number two, shoppers just put over 1 billion into buy now, pay later in just one weekend. That was from Cyber Monday, Black Friday. Here's what it means. Buy now, pay later spending hit 1.04 billion on Cyber Monday alone, part of the $20 billion buy now, pay later purchases expected this holiday season. This is an 11% increase over last year, according to the New York Times. And while buy now, pay later offers consumers flexibility, it also signals financial strain amongst middle income households. For service businesses, this is a cue to offer payment plans, membership options, as well as flexible booking deposits. If your clients are stretched this holiday budget, you want to take a look at Klarna with Afterpay. They're likely evaluating how they can afford your services too. Third, Costco, Bumblebee, dozens of businesses are suing for tariff refunds, and you might qualify for this too. Over 90 companies, including Costco, Bumblebee Foods, have filed lawsuits to secure tariff refunds ahead of the expected Supreme Court ruling on the legality of President Trump's emergency tariffs. This is according to the New York Times. If the court rules that tariffs are unlawful, imports could be entitled to billions in refunds, but only if you've taken the legal action or filed an administrative protest. If your business imports products, materials, you want to consult a trade attorney right now to preserve your refund rights before the liquidation dates pass. Next, holiday spending just crossed 1 trillion for the first time, but fewer items are selling at a higher price. The National Retail Federation projects that holiday sales will surpass 1 trillion for the first time, with Black Friday sales jumping 4.1% and a record 203 million shoppers participating on Thanksgiving weekend, according to the New York Times and Adobe Analytics. But here's the catch. Average selling prices rose 7% while consumers purchased 2% fewer items, and affluent households drove nearly half of all this spending. For services business, this is that K-shaped economy that we've been hearing about. The K-shaped economy, the premium services are thriving while budget-conscious clients are trading down or delaying purchases. You want to know which segments you serve and price accordingly. That's Always Booked Live. I'm Vincent Fanvan. We'll be back tomorrow with the news and ideas that keep your calendar and your client relationships always booked. If you want to see what a Viton mobile app or a client portal could do and what it could look like for your business, head to Viton.com. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe wherever you're